Pakistan versus India last night. Pakistan, it was your batting that let you down. If you went through the 50 overs, there is not one 10-over period where you're going out run a ball or more. You can't do that, especially in the power play. Hogg was going at a strike rate of 38, used up 26 deliveries. That's not good enough, especially when you know that those middle overs are going to be tough against spin on a slower wicket. You can't put pressure on the middle order and the lower order. And then Babar Azam had a strike rate of 88 as well. So after the first 10 overs, they were well behind the 8 ball. Rizwan and Shakil had to come out under pressure. They batted extremely well. These two are the backbone of this Pakistan lineup. They scored 114 off 144 deliveries. Their partnership, it was too slow, but Rizwan was finding the pressure out the back end. Instead of sweeping Patel, he's decided, I'm going to charge him, and yorked himself out. Then all of a sudden, the Pakistan innings started to fall after that. Sugman and Kushdil coming in and out the back end. Yes, they're there to really take on the bowling and finish the innings off. But when there's not enough runs on the board and there's still a lot of overs to be had out the back end, they've got to mix and match. Do they go hard at it, or do they try and play that conservative role, push the ones and twos, and then try and make it up in the last 5 overs? That's too much pressure. They've got to keep going hard because they needed to make 280 at least last night, which was par score on that wicket with the Indian batting lineup. So Pakistan, too slow with the bat. Now if we flip it over to the Indian batting lineup, the partnership between Gill and Kohli was quick as a wink. They kept the momentum going. They're nearly scoring out a run and ball. Rohit Sharma came out in the first overs. I should have mentioned him first, but he was just trying to be a little more aggressive, get that momentum going, make sure that they are 60 plus after the first 10 overs. And he had a bit of a hamstring as well, so he led from the front there. And then out the partnership between Iyer and Kohli was sensational. They nearly went out a run a ball as well, controlling the innings, and by the time Iyer got out, India only needed something like 2.5 and over, so well batted to India. So where the difference was the spin department. The Indian spinners bowled 26 overs. They went for 67 runs, but they picked up 8 wickets as well. They went out just over 4 runs and over. Whereas the Pakistan spinners, they went out more than 5 runs and over. They only bowled 19 overs amongst them, and they only picked up 2 wickets. They were short of a frontline spinner, Pakistan. Or when you come to the quick bowlers between both teams, Rana and Hardik Pandya were the difference. The change of pace, having the ability to sum the conditions up and keep it nice and tight, allowing the spinners to have more pressure to bowl to in those middle overs, set the game up beautifully for India. Whereas the Pakistan quicks were looking for wickets, they were looking for those breakthroughs, and they were bowling those boundary balls too often in those initial overs. So if you look at it, really, India scored a lot more boundaries and were able to control the game a lot more with the bat, putting pressure on the Pakistan bowlers, whereas the Pakistan batsmen weren't willing to do that and take a risk against the Indian bowling attack. Kuldeep Yadav was absolutely sensational. I love the way that he's changing up his pace and being able to sum up the conditions as well. He's really grown of age over the last couple of years, really worked on his bowling and has got great variety, and Rohit Sharma and Gill for that matter were able to use him wisely last night out the crucial moments where they needed to pick up wickets when Pakistan were under pressure. So well done to India with the way that they rotated their bowlers. But I'm going to go to Virat Kohli. 14,000 runs, sensational. He's been probably the best, well, he is the best one-day batsman that the world has probably seen. He's averaged over 56 to 59 for a long period of time. Yes, there's a couple of years where he dropped off, but only 2 years ago he was averaging 70, the year before that 22. You're going to have your up and down periods, especially with the amount of cricket that these guys are playing now and the different forms of the game that they're playing, adding on that T20 format. But last night he toughed it out. He knew that he was under pressure. There were some glimpses of some beautiful cover drives, pull shots, cut shots, and the way that he controlled it against the leg spin last night was sensational. There are glimpses of the Kohli of old, but as he said, he's getting older and it's hard to recover as well and keep that fitness up and keep nice and loose. But well done to Virat Kohli, absolute legend. Hopefully we see him get to 15,000 runs. He deserves it. He's been a great ambassador of the game and he's been sensational in the one-day format. Congratulations for 51 runs. And he's also the leading Indian fielder in the amount of catches in the outfield as well. I think it's 157. So well done to Virat Kohli on that little milestone as well. But India look too good in this tournament out at the moment in their group stage. So in this group, it's between New Zealand and India to see who finishes on the top. I think it's going to be a close contest, the match between these two. But India, out the moment, the way they're going, home ground advantage in Dubai at the moment because they play all their games there. They've sussed it out. They're going to be hard to beat.